How does frame rate affect stock footage in SaaS video editing? Imagine trying to watch a movie where the motion jumps or looks blurry. That's what happens when frame rates don't match or are used improperly in video editing. When you work with stock footage in SaaS platforms, understanding how frame rate influences your project can make a big difference. Frame rate is the number of individual images shown each second in a video. It controls how smooth or choppy the motion appears. Lower frame rates, like 24 frames per second, give a more cinematic look with natural motion blur. This makes footage feel warm and familiar, like traditional films. Higher frame rates, such as 60 frames per second or more, capture more images per second. This results in crisper, more detailed motion that looks very lifelike. But it can also feel less like a movie and more like real life. When adding stock footage to your SaaS video project, matching the frame rate of your clips with your timeline is essential. If your project is set to 24 frames per second and you insert footage shot at 60 frames per second, the motion might look unnaturally smooth or hyperreal. Conversely, if you slow down high frame rate footage to 24 frames per second, it creates a slow motion effect. This can be useful for emphasizing certain moments or adding a dramatic touch. Most SaaS editing tools offer ways to handle different frame rates. Frame extraction removes frames from high frame rate clips to match a lower frame rate. This can save storage but might cause slight motion inconsistencies if not done carefully. Frame interpolation is another technique that creates new frames between existing ones. This makes footage look smoother but can sometimes introduce artifacts or strange visual effects if the software isn't precise. Always check the frame rate of your stock clips before importing them into your SaaS editor. If you plan to create slow motion effects, use high frame rate footage like 60 or 120 frames per second. When working with clips from different sources, keeping the frame rate consistent helps your video look professional and cohesive. Remember, higher frame rates need more light during filming and larger storage space, so plan accordingly. In the end, frame rate impacts how your stock footage integrates into your project and how viewers perceive motion. It influences the emotional tone, whether you want a cinematic feel or a hyperreal look. Managing frame rates carefully ensures your final video is smooth, engaging, and visually pleasing.